Hey y'all, it's Dr. Ashley Gaddy Robbins. Let's sip some coffee and talk about the protection of power. So, yesterday I started the show Your Honor from Showtime and now streaming on Netflix. Don't spoil it, I haven't finished. But it is very clear from the very beginning how power protects itself. So, let's talk about it. Let's start off with power in general. Power and the strategies and tactics around power are really, really hard to maintain. Okay. Power, institutional power, personal power usually has to endure in some very harsh, process oriented, violent tactics in order for power to even be established, right? We think about institutional power and the ways in which colonialism and genocide have played into establishing power. We think about personal power and the things that people have done to even get to where they are, where they may not be that nice or even legal. So, power, to even establish power, is one thing, but to sustain it is also very hard to do. You have to engage in tactics of power and control that are not people oriented in order to sustain it, because chances are that's how it was gained in the first place. So, in the show, Your Honor, we are really seeing a direct representation in the ways in which people who are in power, people who have positionality, people who are well off, people who have connections, people who are white, we are seeing that they are willing to jeopardize, ruin, um, break down the lives of people who are lower class, people who are black. This is happening in New Orleans. And literally, this show shows the representation of how power will do whatever it needs to do to protect itself. And the people who are usually going to pay the price for that protection are people who are the most vulnerable, people who are in marginalized communities, people who are, like I said, lower social economic classes, who are black and brown, who are non-Christian, people with disabilities, people in the LGBTQ community. It is so clear that when tactics of power and control are utilized in order to sustain or protect the people who have nothing to do with it, nothing to do with your scheme, nothing to do with the mistake that you made, nothing to do with the crime that you did, are being punished, harmed, and even dying because of it. This show, Your Honor, is a great representation. So I really encourage you checking it out and even using it in your curriculum or using it in your, teachings and lessons about the ways in which institutional and personal power is protected and who gets to pay the price. The thing about power is that it doesn't care about people. And that's the problem.